I had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Thank you. Thank you for our speaker that accepted to come today and have speak for us. So we, as you know, this is a very serious talk. We do that every month. Sometimes like this one, we have more than one speaker. Tonight, we're going to actually have two speakers. One of them is just coming directly from airport. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker. Krupa is a seasoned data scientist and senior consultant with over a decade of experience crafting data-driven solutions across industries like cybersecurity and AI. At Visa, she leads the development of end-to-end machine learning system, recently diving deep into the transformative potential of the generative AI. Her work thrives at the intersection of data science, AI, and cybersecurity. Tackling complex challenges such as threat and anomaly detection and AI-powered automation in security operations, armed with a master in computer science from USC and data scientist certificate from MIT. Krupa began both analytical rigor and creative problem solving through her work. Driven by a passion for impactful technology and lifelong learning, she sees every challenge as a chance to innovate and collaborate in pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So today her talk is about the STEM journey from student life to professional success. So I let her to start her talk. And again, thank you so much for you and for everybody else that are here, and also the department for supporting us, all the staff, the head of the department, everybody's very supportive. Otherwise, this event like that is not happen. Thank you again.
Can you hear me then? Awesome. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my talk, and it's a great privilege and honor to be here at UPE, the university that I've only heard of, but it's a privilege to be here for the first time ever in Texas Dallas as well. So, as the professor mentioned, I'll be talking about my professional journey and what you can learn from my journey from a student to professional success. I'll start by talking brief about myself. I have my undergrad degree from College of Engineering, Pune, India. I did a BTech in computer engineering. I worked for a startup as a full stack developer before I took the decision to move to the US for my master's in computer science. So I moved to the US in 2014, and I pursued my master's in computer science from University of Southern California. And then I grabbed a summer internship as a data engineer at Visa. I was fortunate to do a spring internship as well. So I did a software engineering internship at ADP. And then finally, I took the decision to start my full-time as a senior data scientist at Visa. So before I get started, how many of us here are looking for internships and or full-time roles? Actively looking. Okay, interesting. So for the next 20-30 minutes that I talk, I guarantee you, if you take most or all of what I talk here, you'll be getting a job in like max 1 or 2 months. And I can say that with confidence because I've also been mentoring students over the past couple of months. People who've been struggling with their resumes, struggling to get interview calls, and struggling to clear the interviews. And they come back to me with their success stories. And I really hope that you will be one of them who would be reverting back to me saying that all that I covered here was of some help to you. So I really hope you get something out of what I talk. So when we're applying for internships or full-time roles, the confusion here is, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to perfect my resume, I need to do that project, I need to do open source projects. So there's so much of confusion and students are overwhelmed and all over the place. So given the 10 years of experience that I have of mentoring students and myself going through this process, I divide this into must-haves and good-to-haves. Most of the times, students focus so much on good-to-have that they do not address the must-have. So I'll be talking in detail about must-have, that is your basic resume, how you should be doing your applications and your preparations. Let's go over some of the good to have. So I actively hire for internships and full times. I talk to senior directors, VPs, SVPs, not just at Visa, but I talk to them from Amazon, Meta, Google, and I ask them that given that so much of competition and challenges that our students are facing in this industry, what are the things that would make students stand out? So a couple of things here that I've mentioned is first thing, open source projects contribution. This is something that you can, look for some projects online without expecting anything, learn how is it that you can contribute to the open source community. And you can take this in writing. One of these projects, if you have it in your resume, and if it's something that you've made an impact, you're directly getting a call. That is some of the things that they look for in a resume. So if you don't have it, it is something that's really helpful. Second, active profile on GitHub. Now with GenAI coming into picture, people are even using the job descriptions to copy paste to ChatGPT and using their resumes. Okay, modify my resume as per the job description, and they are submitting their applications and their resumes, which may not pass through ATS because ATSs have gone beyond just the keyword matching. So what recruiters and hiring managers are doing is looking for how active you are on GitHub. That sort of a heat map that comes on your profile. They see how active you have been. Now the question would be like, okay, there is so much to study, there are so many projects to do. How is it that we look for different projects to do and put it on GitHub? But I'm sure if most of us are CS students, we have our projects, we have our lead code questions that we do, right? Every day solve one or two lead code questions and post it on GitHub. We just want to see your, coding standards, coding styles. So, it's good to have your profile active on GitHub. Second, certifications. Now, I know we all are working towards a bachelor's or a master's degree, right? But certain certifications online could also boost your resume. Then online courses. There are so many courses on Udemy, Coursera. If time permits, if you do that, you can get certain narrow degrees along with your master's or undergrad degrees. That could be of help as well. One of the most important things nowadays is meetups, networking, talking to more and more people. So meetups, I don't know if you have heard of meetups.com. Just look for computer science meetups, look for like GenAI meetups, look for software engineering internships meetups. Go and network with people who've been in this industry for long, network with people who have just graduated and started working. There's a lot to get from the people who are already in the industry or in the same path that you are as well. Second last is conferences. Now, I was lucky enough to get a Grace Hopper conference for women in computing back in 2015. And just having that on my resume got me so many calls. So and right now also I'm here in Dallas to attend the Women in Cybersecurity conference, and I had received a scholarship a few years back, and now this year I'll be speaking at the conference. So having such names saying that you got a scholarship, say I got a Google I have a scholarship as well. So these things are so important. Conferences and scholarships, again, networking. This is something that's going to help you a lot. And the first thing that you moved in this path here is coming for this lecture of mine today because you're networking with me. So if you reach out to me on LinkedIn saying, hey, I attended this talk by yours and, I need some help, I'm more than happy to connect and, provide a referral or what is it that I can do to help you. So apart from this good to have, now it's good to have a balance of both, but most of it is a must-have that you should be very strong with because that's the basic foundations. Good to have will boost your chances of getting that call or job that you want. Resume. One of the most important foundation pieces of getting that internship call and the job. I actively hire, I review resumes as well. And the first thing that I tell students is recruiters and hiring managers just spend 6 to 7 seconds per resume. I know students spend so much of time perfecting their resumes, checking with one person, okay, they asked me to do this, okay, they asked me to do this. No, you are never going to have a perfect resume. So don't spend so much of time. You are pursuing CS, there are certain things like, AI, ML, Python, Java, these keywords. I know when you have these skills, you're not going to apply as a finance manager role or an HR role, right? So these specific keywords of yours, if you're pursuing the degree, is more than enough. Don't spend a lot of time. And when I say 6 to 7 seconds, right, you'll be saying that, I have 4 or 5 projects, I have experiences as well, right? How is it that, I can make those stand out? So 6 to 7 seconds, max, I'm going to look at one project of yours. Max, I'm going to be looking at one experience of yours. You will have 4 to 5 bullet points. How is it that you're going to tell me what you did? Make sure that you address this. What you did, why you did, how you did, and what impact you had. For example, if I say that I developed a returns policy for a shopping module, I did that. That's the what. Why I did? To enhance customer experience. How I did? I wrote, code in like .NET, I wrote Python scripts, so on. I need those technologies. Impact, what is it that happened after you did that project? We're not doing here fancy stuff, right? Like if we want to get into business and start working, impact is something that's going to count. Even the projects that you do, right? The impact, ask ChatGPT, how is it that I can put the impact? You need to highlight the impact for us to be convinced that you did something notably good. This is in line with the STAR method that you would have already known, but whenever you write something, make sure that all these 4 pointers are addressed. Not necessary to include a GPA. Now, you have a 4 on 4 GPA, well and good, congratulations. You have 3.8, 3.9, put it there. But if you have less than 3.5, it's okay. Don't put it there. In my very first semester, I had 3.2 GPA and I was nowhere. The first thing I used to go to recruiters, they used to put my resume the last. So if it's less than 3.5, don't put it on the resume. It's fine. And there are 2 or 3 bullet points that people write. I'm a highly motivated individual seeking a CS internship or full-time job. We know you're applying for the role, so we know you're applying for this full-time job internship. Do not need to waste space on your resume. Have a one-page resume. Do not need to have a summary objective. Highlight important words. So when I say 6 to 7 seconds, right? If I'm saying so many things on your resume, what is it that you are asking me to read that is important? Highlight Python. Highlight increase efficiency by 50%, decrease time by 80%, or these numbers are something that is going to make your project stand out. Highlight the technology, what you did, and the impact. These are the keywords. Hold it.
Hold it?
Yes.
Okay. Or like does italics also work?
Say that again.
Italicizing?
Italicizing?
No italics. Just bold it. Don't have anything else bold on that project except for these few terms that I'm mentioning here. More than enough. So in the 6-7 seconds, you're telling me that, okay, in this project, these 2-3 words are important. Next project or experience, these are the 2-3 words that are important. Put different projects. Now, I was talking to one of your professors and we were discussing that, when I go to career fairs, say I went to USC, every person who has taken that web development course, every person who has taken that AI course have the same set of projects in the same verbiage. That's not going to make it stand out. What is going to make it stand out? Either you put the same project in a different verbiage, different word, or try to do something else, right? Do you guys have hackathons? If not, there are a lot of hackathons online. Attend those. So for me, my hackathon project made me stand out of all the resumes that the recruiters were scanning when they came to our career fair. So this is something that you really need to work on. Please do not put a lot of the projects that you do at class. Everyone has the same set of projects. Lastly, don't put projects where you have not contributed much. Now, in some of the initial screenings that I've done, I've been so intrigued by some of the projects that students have put in. And when I've asked them their contribution, they're like, actually, it's a PhD project that someone else is doing. I'm just doing web scraping. No, you don't put that project unless and until you've done it end to end. Please don't put it there. Because when we ask you about your project, we are going to drill you down on what you did and why you did. And if you cannot answer it, please don't put it there. Because anything and everything that you put on your resume, you will be drilled down to ask questions on how you did, what you did. Even if it's a group project of 4, please make sure that you know what you've done in the project. And lastly, as I said, you will never have a perfect resume. So do not spend a lot of time. Maybe 2 or 3 versions and you finalize it, that's it.
So for the projects, would you say projects are
I would say solo projects, unless and until you know everything about that project, don't put it there. Some of the times it is group projects and it's like, it can be a link. You should know how much you've contributed, but what is it that all of us were aiming to achieve? So you should know that. Applications. Now, everyone is like scrolling endlessly on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn as well. But know that not all the jobs are listed only on LinkedIn. Yes, you should be active on LinkedIn. You should be seeing for the recent roles that have been added. But apart from LinkedIn, Glassdoor. Glassdoor also people post a lot of their postings of the jobs. Have you heard of AngelList? AngelList is something where startups post their jobs. So that is also something that you can explore. It's been very helpful. If it's not something that you really want to go, I would highly suggest you to at least apply interview because we need more interview experiences. Local companies. Again, like I said, not all the companies post their job postings everywhere on the internet. So how do you get a list of companies? I remember when I was in LA, graduating from USC, I used to look for top companies to work for in LA, top startups to work for in LA, top companies to work in Bay Area, top companies to work for in Seattle, best startups to work in Seattle. This will give you a list of more number of companies to apply to. So that's not something that you would want to miss. That's the local companies. Referrals. Referrals are helping students nowadays. I was speaking to 2 people over the last weekend and they came up to me saying that, hey, we are doing this fall co-op, we are doing this summer internship. And I was like, can you tell me about what worked for you? They said referrals worked for me. So take advantage of your alumni network, take advantage of your alumni network, not just for your master, go back to undergrad, go back to your school, you have, some senior members, friends of friends of friends, reach out to them, ask them, hey, can I get a referral? But don't just send those cold emails like, hey, I found a position at Visa, refer me. No, I will not respond to such kind of requests. The way you reach out to people would be, hey, I'm really intrigued by your profile. I'm passionate about the work that you're doing. And it's really very interesting. And I found this position. I'll be very grateful if you can refer to me. Come on, I'm coming back after a tough day at work. I want to be reading good in mails and messages. Not like this is my resume, apply to all relevant positions. No, people are not going to respond to such kind of emails. And another thing that has worked for students, say you found a position at Amazon, for example, right? And you've not got referrals, but you've applied for the roles. Reach out to any and all recruiters. Send out connection requests. Send out connection requests to engineers there. Send out connection requests to hiring managers. Say if you send out 100 requests, 50 will see them, 25 will accept. And out of this 25, you send a message saying, hey, thank you for connecting with me. I'm interested in this. Again, remove 50%, will at least view. 50% of those will see. And maybe 1 or 2 people will respond to you. Why I'm saying this really works, it has worked for me. I've been lucky enough to, network with people and get direct interview calls. And so I would highly encourage you to start doing this as well. Remember, more the number of applications, more the number of interview chances. Go ahead.
How would you go about asking someone to write a public reference for you on your LinkedIn account? And is it acceptable to ask for that from, say, someone who previously interviewed you?
Why would you want them to give them a recommendation?
Well, he offered, so, yeah.
After your interview experience?
Yes, ma'am. I think I did a really good job, but I think there was someone a little bit more experienced than me.
So I think in that way, what you can do is you can keep in touch with the person who said that you did well, and any opportunities that would come they could be redirected to you. Because at times what happens is like, say, even at times when we've looked for people for internship positions, we've hired 2 people, and we had to reject the other 3 people who were equally good as well. But we preferred those people who had reached out to us saying that hey, thank you for the interview experience. I'm really glad that I got to interview with a company like yours, and I'm more than happy to be in touch with you. So when someone said that, okay, we won't be joining, those were the people we reached out to again. Does that answer your question? Okay, you can keep in touch. I mean, there are different pathways that can open when you keep in touch with people, right? But once you've been rejected for a role, it's difficult to make progress in that role. So if someone's found you really good, you can just keep in touch with them, saying that, okay, I did well. Please consider me for future opportunities. It does happen. I mean, I interviewed at Meta, I think around 7 to 8 years back, and everything went out so well except for the last one interview round, right? But I was rejected. But till they reached out to me saying that hey, we really like that you interviewed with us, and we want you to interview again. So if that helps. Okay, so it's good to be in touch. Preparations. Now that we worked on our resumes, we've put in the applications, interviews. How to prepare for interviews, right? I'm assuming most of us here are CS grads. Anyone out of CS? Okay, so probably lead code might not apply to you, but most of us, if you are CS, lead code, lead code, lead code. Every and other company that you go, lead code is something that will be asked. Lead code, data structures, algorithms, trees, graphs, linked lists, arrays. That is the base of all the interviews. I know people are adding in system design. So 10 years back, system design was not that common, but lead code, lead code, lead code. The base question would be a lead code question that you're doing. We will just, give grab it and, present it to you in another way. But, lead code is something that you should be well versed with. That even at 3 a.m. at night, if I'm calling you to ask the reverse in English, you should be able to answer. So please do lead code. Second, if you're looking for data analyst, data science position, Stratus Catch is something that's really very useful and highly recommended by interviewers. So it's something you would want to explore. HackerRank. So the take-home tests that people get in their first rounds are usually HackerRank or similar to HackerRanks, which again boils down to you being very strong in coding, and for the same you should be doing lead code. Say you clear those basic coding rounds, right? You're getting on-site calls. How do you know what to expect? This is where I've seen that Glassdoor interview experiences or Reddit experiences have been really very helpful. I wouldn't mention the name of the company, but when I interviewed with them 8 years back, I just looked for interview experiences, and trust me, all the questions that I read were asked to me in the interviews. So people post their interview experiences on Glassdoor, and that's something you really want to explore and try out. But the one and the only question that I forgot to do is the question that was asked to me, which I could not solve. But yes, Glassdoor interview experiences, Reddit interview experiences are something really good where you have the questions there itself. System design is also something that is being actively asked. I recommend system design primer to get started if you don't know, but that would give you a good head start into solving system design questions. And like I said, most companies want lead code. I know all the pan companies, if you know, their basic rounds are lead code based. So please be very strong with that. There's this one mantra for success that I learned from my guru, Brahmkstri Maharaj. He used to say that effort and prayer gives us success. Now, I'm not saying you should pray day and night, but I have drilled down this, success mantra of his into, effort. We spoke about the combination of must-haves and good-to-haves, right? Must-haves is something that's really, really important, and you could do a bit of good to have that would make your resume stand out. And again, hard work. There is no alternative to hard work. Okay. I would say smart hard work. I don't want you to put hard work in the resumes and applications that you forgot to study, right? So you should be very smart and do the hard work. Second, now with Gen AI, ChatGPT being used by almost everyone present here, right? How do you leverage that? How many of you are familiar with jobright.ai? Is that something that you guys are familiar with? Yes. That is something that has
What's
been
the AI you said again?
jobright.ai.
Job right now.
Is it jobs right or job right? Jobright.ai. So apparently, that is a tool that is used by people who are actively looking for a full-time or internships. You post in your profile, the kind of profile and the kind of jobs that you're looking for. And immediately when a job is posted there, you get a notification that, hey, 24% match or 70% match, and you go ahead and apply. Another thing that I want you to know is like many times students come to me saying that, okay, I found a position that really aligns with me, say 90%, and I'm applying for it. Apply for a role even if you match 50 to 60%, because if everyone's going to think that way, no one's going to apply. No one's going to clear the interview round and no one's going to get the job. So if you apply for a role that you match 50 to 60%, I think go ahead. There's nothing to lose here, right? Just keep applying. If you're CS grad, software engineer, data engineer, business analyst, data analyst, anything and everything, right? Software, internship, systems engineer, all these common terms, just go ahead and apply for it. And if you're looking for data specific roles, right, make sure that you know that not all companies, they label data analyst as data analyst only. They fall into the category of software engineer, internships, and full times. So be open to anything and everything. I think at this point, given the market, I would ask and request all of you all to be open to most kind of roles. You never know what would work for you. Talking about myself, I was a data person. I was hired as a data engineer. But I transitioned into data science because I got that opportunity. Did I know data science? No, I did not know data science when I started working. I transitioned. I took another degree from MIT. I took another degree from Stanford. I took another nano degree. In fact, I'm still doing courses every year and currently pursuing applied Gen AI course as well. So learning never stops. So make sure that you're open enough, because we don't know right now, it's this AI, Gen AI, ML boom. Few years down the line, it's maybe quantum computing, right? So we want to make sure that we are keeping up pace with the technology. Lastly, please know what the company you're applying to. The first round is a recruiter screening, and what tends to happen is like, the first question recruiters ask is, what do you know about a company? You just don't want to be blind. Just look up any of the recent news that the company has come into picture for, say, hey, I saw your stuff doing really well. I saw you were in the news for so and so invention of yours. So make sure you know that about the company. Prayer. Uh, Prayer to God. But I always feel that you should be very much confident in yourself. You should have that self-belief and trust in your efforts. I did talk about, like, in my first semester of masters, I did not have a good GPA, and many people told me that, okay, you just have 1 year of experience and you don't have a good GPA. I don't think you'll be able to make it anywhere. And I was like, no, that's not going to define me. And GPA is not going to define me. Work ethics is not going to define me. And I put in the efforts, doing the applications, connecting with the right people. In the end, I had 3 internship offers and 5 full-time opportunities. So I would just say, believe in yourself, okay, because there are more people in here who will just tell you that you're not going to do it, but you need to show that you can make it. Never give up attitude. I know many of the time what happens is, like, students, they give interviews and they're not able to clear, and then, they feel, okay, it was my dream job and, it was my dream company. I could not make it. No, that's not something that should define you. You don't know that there would be a better opportunity. If you've not got a summer internship, does not mean you will not get a full time. You are eligible for the full time. I know folks who had not got summer internship, spring internship, but who cracked Google, who cracked Microsoft, who cracked Meta, and they're doing really well. So don't let anything define you. Now is the time you should be making efforts. So please do that. And you should always keep telling yourself that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. anything and everything that's happening in your life is taking to where you're destined to be. So I would say, please keep up this positive attitude. It really works. Trust me, it really works. Every day you should tell yourself that one more step, one more application, one more lead code question I'll do, and I'm sure you'll make it. And again, this is the formula for long-lasting success, and I'm the greatest example of that. So please keep working hard. I'm a huge fan of cricket, so I just wanted to get these examples in here. If you know these personalities, well and good. If not, you would want to read about them. So MS Dhoni, India's greatest cricketers and India's greatest captains, the one captain who's gotten all ICC trophies. He was a ticket collector at 22, but at 26, he lifted the T20 World Cup for us. Rohit Sharma, India's current cricket captain. At 25, he struggled to make it to the playing 11, but at 26, he smashed a 200 in the ODIs, and he is widely regarded as one of the greatest ODI opening batters of all time. Last year, if you follow IPL, he was, labeled as someone who lost the World Cup trophy and who had entered IPL. But this year, IPL, he entered with 2 ICC Cup trophies. So, there are good times ahead. We just need to have that faith. And last but not the least, Surya Kumar Yadav, at 30, he wasn't even in the Indian cricket team, but at 32, he became the world #1 in the T20s. So please keep up with the efforts. And last but not the least, if you're ever losing hope, just keep telling yourself that you're not behind. Even if others have got jobs and you've not got, there are jobs waiting for you, but you just have to, apply for it. You are just one more attempt, one more step away from your win. I wish you all the very best, and I hopefully wait to hear from you. And next year, I hope you are here in my place giving this advice to everyone. Thank you so much.